of the new film about Alfred Hitchcock. Let's start the show! Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a frighteningly good show for you tonight. She is literally acting royalty. Dame Helen Mirren is here. Yes, she is. Plus, we've got 2 stars from the hilarious knocked-up sequel, This Is 40. Paul Rudd is on the show. And with him is co-star the gorgeous Leslie Mann, ladies and gentlemen. Plus, later on, we've got music for the fantastic Little Mix. Little Mix. Oh, the Little Mix. Little Mix. Little Mix won X Factor last year, and you know, Simon Cowell loved them because of the sound they generate. Yeah. Now, Paul and Leslie appeared together in the hilarious comedy Knocked Up, all about someone who was surprised but delighted to find out they were having a baby. Ooh. Surprised and delighted. Elton's got 2 kids now, Elijah and Zachary. And, you know, I saw a picture of Zachary recently, and he really does have Elton's hair. He does, yeah. Paul and Leslie's new movie, all about turning 40. You know, particularly for women, I think, it can be very hard hitting their 40s, worrying about their looks and worrying, can they find a man who still fancies them? You know? Oh, yes, they can. Oh, he's game. Dame Helen will be here chatting about her new film, where she plays the wife of Alfred Hitchcock. Oh, ooh, steady, girls. And the movie is actually set while Hitchcock was making Psycho. Oh, such a brilliant film, best known for the iconic shower scene. Ah, yes, there's Janet Leigh. And you think, what could she have seen in a hotel bathroom that would scare her that much? Don't mind me, love. Oh. Helen has been in so many great movies and, of course, winning an Oscar when she starred in The Queen. And you know what? She does look a lot like Her Majesty. I mean, here's Helen with a corgi. OK, there's Helen with a corgi. Now, here's the Queen with a corgi. It's an exact match. Here's Helen meeting Tony Blair. OK, here's the Queen meeting Tony Blair. See, it's spot on, ladies and gentlemen. It's spot on. Here's Helen with some bananas. Surely we haven't, have we? OK. Here's the Queen with some bananas. Oh, phew. Let's get some guests on. Later we'll be having music from Little Mix. But first, Man Alive, it's Leslie Mann. Oh! Okay, so there you go. That's me. You sit down there. There's a big glass of wine for you there, lovely Lizzie. Bloody hell, it's Paul Rudd, everybody! Hello. Very nice to see you. Have a seat. Thank you. And game on, it's Helen Mirren! Welcome all. Now, have you just come back from America, Helen?
No, I'm here. I'm working on a play here, so...
But when did you get your star in the Walk of the Fame?
Oh, my God, that was about 3 weeks ago, an age ago, forever ago, you know.
And where are you? Who are you beside with?
I'm very close to Sylvester Stallone.
Nice.
Very close to Yehudi Menuhin. And very close...
He's in the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of people
It's a broad church.
It's a broad church.
Lots of people are on the... Are you guys on the... Do you have the star bit?
No. Not yet. Any minute now.
Yeah.
Any minute now.
I don't know. Even Little Mix are on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The big one, which is such an honour. You're in the Grauman's Chinese Theatre with the hands and feet.
I am with my hands and feet. Yes,
there you
I am. Absolutely.
Now, are you double jointed?
Well, I wanted to do everything back to front so that it looked as if my hands and my feet were all sort of weirdly back to front. So, yeah, I did. So I crossed my legs over like this. I'm going to show off now, so I don't know if I can still do it. I crossed my legs over like this, and then I wanted my feet to go like that, and my hands to go like that. Ooh! That was a very good idea.
Some mystery marks.
Cut that bit out.
Some mystery marks in the cement.
But I wanted people to look at it going, that's weird. How did that work? But I'm there, and I'm incredibly proud.
And welcome along to... Because, Paul, you have real affinity to Britain. Is your family all British?
Yes. Yeah, both my parents are from London. And,
oh, wow. You're ours!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the first American in my family. And I've been coming here my whole life, so I feel very, very much at home.
So this is old hat, is what you're saying? No sense of excitement at all?
No, not at all. This is very exciting. Even more so.
Yeah.
Even more so.
Where's your family from? Which part of the world? I mean, England.
My dad was Edgware, and my...
London boy, London boy.
Interesting. That got a little... Ooh.
Edgware. And then my mom was Surrey, grew up in Chiswick, Surbiton.
Chiswick, I was born in Chiswick.
Surbiton is huge. And it's lovely to have you here, Leslie.
Thank you.
But this is a question of why you were here. Because didn't a psychic tell you not to travel?
Yes. A psychic told me not to fly, text and drive, or drive on curvy roads.
While texting?
While texting.
Sounds like a very bad psychic. Anybody
Yeah. Don't jump off a cliff.
But she really scared me. She scared me, and I was so, I didn't want to leave the house. And but now I feel like, I want to rebel against the psychic and just do all these things and be like, screw you, psychic. I'm gonna fly. And I feel like if I talk about it enough, that it won't happen. What a terrible thing to say, was that?
I know. You've got to fly home, yeah. So far, so good. This program is dedicated to...
I'm glad I'm on a different flight.
Can I just say, because I thought, Paul, you would look more... Because you're preparing for Anchorman.
Yeah, I was wondering where you were going with that.
No. I just thought...
You thought it would maybe a little more clean cut or something?
Or just kind of a bit more,
put together?
No, because, because the Anchorman hair is quite an event.
It's we start shooting Anchorman 2. That's from Anchorman, and I'm trying to recapture that, unfortunately.
Is that all your hair?
That was all my hair and a real mustache and sideburns and.
How did they get it? It's so
fabulous. Yeah, but that was all real. So I've been trying because we're going to start shooting in a few weeks.
And are you all back together again in it?
Yeah.
Okay. And is it true the last time you were on the show you did a spoiler for the first one?
Well, the last time that we spoke and I was on your show, I was here talking about Anchorman, and I had this story that I say in the movie that I have a nickname for it's so weird to even say it out loud. A nickname for my penis, and it's called the Octagon. But I also have a nickname for my testicles, and that the left one is James Westfall, and the right one is Dr. Kenneth Noisewater. And James...
Quite a mouthful.
You said it, not me. Well, James Westfall was my roommate in college. And I thought, I'm just going to say that, and I'm not going to tell him. So that when he sees the movie on opening day, which I knew he would, that'll be a nice surprise for him. So I told the story, not really putting it together that the show would air the night before the movie opened. And the show aired, and then everybody started calling James, saying, did you watch Graham Norton? He was talking about you. And I felt like I you know, was carrying a football and fumbled on the 1-yard line. I really timed it poorly.
A lot of guests forget it's going to be on television. Even I forget it's actually going to air. It seems so unlikely. Now, tonight, we're very lucky. We've got 2 great films to talk about, Hitchcock and This Is 40. So let's kick off, Helen, with Hitchcock. By the way, congratulations on all the nominations. BAFTA's the next one. Is that in a week and a bit?
Yeah, Sunday week, yeah, I think so.
Is the gown chosen?
The gown is chosen. Yes, it is, absolutely.
Lovely.
You know, it's all about the gown. Nothing else matters. All it's become about.
It's a lot of pressure, the gown, isn't it?
It is. It's unfair for us girls.
It's so unfair. It's so uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable and stress-making, and then they all tell you look crap anyway. And
After all that.
After all that, exactly.
But now, you play the wife of the great Alfred Hitchcock, Alma.
Yes.
And it's not a biopic as such. It's a very specific point in time.
Yes, it's The Making of Psycho. Originally, the film was called Hitchcock and The Making of Psycho, but it's exactly about that period of time. So they made this movie that nobody wanted to make, and they believed in, so they mortgaged their house to pay for it. They paid for it themselves, and boy, did that pay off in the end.
Yeah.
Big time. But, you know, it's an interesting point in a marriage. It's an interesting point in an artist's life, a filmmaker's life. And it's an interesting point of film history as well.
And then, in an extraordinary kind of thing, you met Hitchcock.
I did, yes, when I was very, 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 very young. Child. No, when he came to England, London, to make his last movie, Frenzy. Was it his last movie? Yes, I was a young actress who was sent off to meet him. He hated me, absolutely didn't like me at all. I didn't like him, actually, either.
How did that manifest itself?
In what way?
Well, like, how did you know he didn't like you?
Well, I don't know. He just wasn't... he was just sort of Hitchcockish. And, you know, he was big and sitting behind his desk, and I was very intimidated. And anyway, I was arrogant and stupid, and I didn't realise he was a great genius, you know.
It wasn't for you?
It wasn't, no. I wanted to be in movies with Jack Nicholson. You know, I didn't want to do a Hitchcock movie. I mean, I was an idiot.
But now, so obviously Anthony Hopkins, it doesn't particularly look like Hitchcock too. He does the full kind of Iron Lady treatment.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Prosthetics makeup nowadays, I don't know if you've worn, either of you, prosthetics recently, but it's incredible what they do.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, I was this close to him, I couldn't see. It's just absolutely real. It's incredible.
So did you forget?
The makeup artist got nominated for an Academy Award, actually, quite rightfully.
So would you forget that he was in there?
No, totally, absolutely. I'd completely forget that Tony was in there. So at the end of the day, he did this very, sort of occasionally did this alarming thing, because by then he was so frustrated with the makeup that he's put his hand up and just like ripped it off his face, you know, like one of those sort of horror movies. And then there would be Anthony Hopkins. It was like, what the hell are you doing here? You're in this movie, really? He was Tony Hopkins was became a kind of a stranger to me. I only really knew him as Hitch.
Wow. So Hitchcock finally opens here on the 8th of February, next Friday, and we've got a scene. This is you and Hitch discussing the plot of their new movie, Psycho.
Very good, I love it.
And that's all... That is all true. I mean, she was very hands-on in the making of the film.
All of his movies, yes, absolutely. I mean, from early script development through the shoot, through the costume, through the casting, through... Not so much she wasn't on the set, although she did do what we show in the movie, which Hitch, during the making of Psycho, did get ill and she did go in and take over. Yeah. But when he was shooting, she would stay back.
And is one of the things that drew you to this film, that kind of weird parallel where you are married to a very successful director, Taylor Hackford?
I guess, you know, yes. I mean, certainly it made me understand certain elements in the script. I mean, when I first went to Hollywood and, you know, and got with Taylor, I don't know if you've experienced this, Leslie, but people walking through you to get to your husband, you know, because the great and famous, and in my case it was Taylor Hackford when I arrived. And in Hollywood, you know, people can be pretty brutal. It is a strange relationship.
In what way? Is it... I mean, I can relate.
Yeah.
Yes, because you should say, Leslie Mann is married to Judd Apatow, sort of knocked up and 40-year-old virgin. But you work with Judd a lot.
Yeah, we've worked together, yeah.
Has he directed you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But it's different.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? Because it's a different relationship. You know, what happens at home, what happens there. It's a really different thing. So I found when I was being directed by Taylor, I moved towards the cast. It was like, you know, I'm with them. I'm not with you.
Right.
You know? These are my peeps. You know, you're not my peeps.
But it must be odd, because if you've been directing all day, to come home, it must be quite hard to stop and not be kind of like, not like that, we're losing light, you know, just, you know, first positions. Do you have to kind of remind the director when he comes home that he's not the director anymore?
I do in general.
I sometimes do. Yeah, Judd gets really bossy, and I have to, and demanding, and yeah, I do have to shut that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I know so much about your life because Judd has written and directed This Is 40, which is, it's called a sort of sequel to Knocked Up, starring the two of you. Now, we remember you from Knocked Up, so where is the couple now, obviously about to turn 40?
Right.
Yeah, it's 5 years later, and we are both turning 40 within the same week, and we kind of...
I'm going through a little crisis.
Little crisis?
And reassessing things, and just...
you know, the kids are older, and we kind of look at it as an opportunity to reevaluate, maybe get a little introspective. Are we doing a good job as parents? Are we doing a good job as a married couple? Are we doing a good job in relating and dealing with our own parents? And what can we do to make things better?
But, and Leslie, in working on the script, you kind of did it through your own marriage, is that right?
Sometimes we would have little arguments through the characters, Pete and Debbie, and I, you know, saying things through the characters that we might be afraid to say to one another.
Okay.
Things like that, you know.
Well, like, if I was Debbie, I might say this.
Like, Judd might say, you know, wouldn't it be fun to have a scene where, you know, Debbie is really crazy and controlling? Yeah, and it would be great to have a scene where Pete is, you know, admits that he's a big dick. We would do that.
But did you get a chance to put in the things that annoy you about Judd?
Well, a lot of things annoy me about Judd, but I don't know if, don't they, after a long time of, you know, being married?
Did the coughing thing didn't make it in? I've heard you talk about the coughing thing.
The coughing, well, the snotty thing.
Yeah, well...
The snot, the morning snot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that every day?
It's every day. It might, he says it's allergies, but it's, I don't know what it is.
My
It's
husband does the same thing.
Is it a snotty?
It's
like
disgusting.
the second he wakes up, it's like a faucet of snot, and he just like he just snorts and snorts and snorts and doesn't think to blow his nose until I tell him, and then he'll like take a paper towel, you know, from the kitchen, but not use the whole paper towel. He'll just like rip off a little corner and blow his nose into the little bit of paper towel, and it's not big enough to hold it all. And then he'll like take the little like corner of it and like clean up in there, and then it starts all over again. It's like never ending, and I don't know what that is. I feel like there's something he should take or a surgery he should get or something to like cure that, or is that's never gonna go away?
Sinus infection or something.
Is it?
I don't know.
It sounds unbearable. I would leave him. I would pack up the kids and get out. Just leave him some tissues and just go.
But he is also a genius.
Yeah.
A snotty genius.
The other thing about my husband is he absolutely finds it impossible to put dishes in the dishwasher. He cannot do it.
Yeah.
That is
very
annoying.
weird. There's the sink, there's the dishwasher. He'll put things in the sink and just won't put them in the dishwasher. So I take them out and then I put them in the dishwasher, and I think, no, he's got to learn. I take them out of the dishwasher, I put them back in the sink. And I think, I can't stand them in the sink. Don't be silly. Put them in the dishwasher, put them in the dishwasher. No, if you leave them in the dishwasher, you'll never know that he didn't put them in the dishwasher. Literally, I take them, like, 20 times, in and out, in and out, in and out.
Is he really hairy?
Is he what? Is he what? Hairy?
Is he really hairy?
Taylor? Not particularly, no. Why, do you think that's a testosterone thing?
No, just since we're complaining
Oh, I
about
see.
husbands.
Well, is John very hairy?
He's very hairy.
Very hairy.
He's very hairy. He's like
Chewbacca.
like a hair suit.
Do you have to trim him?
And I have to, yes. He's trained me to, I don't know why I do this. I want to like pass it on to my daughter, like teach her how to do it. But I have to shave his
quickly now.
his neck.
His neck.
But do you, there's a special trick to it. You have to do like a fade. So it's not a line, because then it'll be like a shirt, like a hair shirt. So you have to do like clean from the bottom of the hairline
blend.
down.
You have to blend it in.
Yeah, and then you have to go like blend. So it's a
Fashionable look these days.
I know. Anything else? No.
You're doing well. You should just get someone in to do that.
Right?
Yeah, like the gardener. Somebody. Leave him on the lawn, face down. They'll take care of it. This is 40. It opens on 14th of February. What a lovely, inexpensive Valentine's Day treat for somebody. And, we've got a clip. This is the two of you, and you're having quite a nice time. This is the two of you in bed. Sort of, yeah, having a nice time.
Valentine's Day,
Yes. Sitting there kind of, this is our lives. It's happening. It's all good. It's all good. And what also was, because your husband's directing you, but he keeps, in every movie, encouraging you to, like, cop off with other people.
I know. Yeah. What is that about?
I don't know. Is he trying to stray you?
He does encourage that. And
fascinating psychological study.
Yeah, because actors are always a bit odd. But I heard you talking, and you were very honest about how excited you were to kiss Zac Efron.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is what a great thing.
Well, not in a creepy way. A little bit.
We all get it. We all get it.
He was very young at the time, but my daughter.
Well, then it's okay.
He was weak. I could pin him down.
I had a steamy sex scene in Love Ranch that Taylor directed. Yes, that was
how
one of
that?
them. Well, you know what those scenes are like. They're so technical.
Mm-hmm.
There's 120 people on the set anyway. You know, it's something. No, don't put your leg there. You know, and put your hand here, and I'm going to shoot it this way, and it just becomes just a what's the word? A sort of mathematical thing to work out. But I know that the actor was absolutely mortified. You know, and he was really worried about it. But of course, it was absolutely fine.
But it must be kind of, you know, in terms of going to work, it's quite a nice thing to do, isn't it? Sometimes you know,
here's the thing.
you get to kiss some hot Hollywood actor.
I always hear actors say what you just said. It's technical. There's a crew. And
That's just what we
and
say.
And I just go, what? That's not true at all. It's awesome. I mean, come on. That is it. You know, it's not too bad.
Because your kids were thrilled about the Zac Efron thing.
Yes. Zach kissed me, and I came home from work, and my daughter Maud ran up to me and licked my face. Taste Zach's spit.
His minty spit. Because, Helen, I read somewhere you talked about your least favourite kisser was, but I won't ask about that. But who was your best?
Please don't go there. The best kisser? Ooh, gosh, what a difficult question. You mean stage you know, theatre. I mean, acting kissing.
It's all kissing.
No, it's not. Because, you know, that's what we so often as actors, especially actually more in the theatre, but also in auditions for, you know, film things, you walk in and, OK, you have to immediately be very intimate. If it's not actually kissing, it's touching, it's hugging, with someone who you've literally met 30 seconds ago. So, you know, we get to be able to do that, things that other people would just feel so embarrassed and weird. We have to be able to go there very quickly.
And it's really hard. It's really awful, isn't it?
That is very strange, though. When you, it's like you're done kissing somebody. Hi, I'm Paul. It is a very weird.
But Paul, your longest screen kiss was with someone very unlikely, wasn't it?
The most kisses I've had in a movie was with your hero, Jack Nicholson. Of all the,
Jack?
many times.
Can I lick your face?
Please do. He played my father in a film called How Do You Know, and the relationship that we had, that James L. Brooks, the director, wanted to portray was that of a very loving father and son. And no matter what kind of stress we were under or what the conflict in our relationship was, we would always kiss each other, hello and goodbye. And James Brooks likes to film a scene 70 times, if need be, or even if you don't need to, he'll still do it. So we just would always kiss.
On the lips?
Mm-hmm. It was great. But when I first met him, I was going to rehearse with Jack Nicholson, and I was very nervous because I'd never seen the man in person, let alone, you know, had never met him, and I was a huge fan. And when he showed up to the rehearsal, he walked in, he looked at me, grabbed me.
Wait, so you don't get any lipstick on him?
So this is what Jack Nicholson did. I was sitting on the couch. You're me, I'll be Jack Nicholson. And he came in, excuse me, Leslie.
Okay.
He came in, he walked in, he's...
Leslie, she's like a gooseberry down the end.
You don't want my disease.
You've a cold, you've a cold. Back off, lady.
He really did that.
How old were you?
This was just a couple of years ago. And it was one of the greatest moments of my life.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Yeah.
I bet it was. Now,
And mine.
And mine right now.
Now, Helen, we must talk about your return to the stage.
Oh, yes, right.
What? Oh, it happens quite soon. You're back to the stage in the West End. Peter Morgan's The Audience. It starts on the 15th of February in the Gielgud Theatre. And it's your return to the role of Her Majesty the Queen.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, this time it's very different. You're doing a big span of time.
The whole, you know, not the whole of her reign, but it's told through the story of this audience, why it's called the audience, that the Queen has every week with all the Prime Ministers. And the incredible thing, really, is that Churchill was her first Prime Minister. And so it's told, it goes backwards and forwards in time, but, we start with Churchill and go to Cameron.
It gets all the way to Cameron?
All the way to Cameron, yeah.
And because it goes over this space of time, but it's on stage, so there won't be the Alfred Hitchcock prosthetics or anything.
No.
So what are they doing?
Very, very quick changes, amazingly fast changes that can happen. I mean, obviously, it's somewhat to do with acting, but also to do with its changes that happen within, hopefully, 15 seconds. So, theatre magic.
But I think I read you in an interview talking about how her voice, because you think of the Queen as a constant. You were saying her voice has changed.
Her voice has changed hugely. Yes, absolutely. From when she was Churchill, she talked terribly like that, you know. And actually, I did a bit too. When I was sort of about 22, I talked terribly like that. It was the way you sort of spoke in those days.
It was a drama school thing.
It was a
yeah.
drama school thing, you know. So all of our voices change, and hers has changed substantially.
Yeah.
She talks like that.
And in terms of approaching the stage, I didn't know. Do you still suffer from stage fright?
Yes, of course. You've just come off the stage, I understand. You've been doing... Were you shit scared?
Yeah, and even up until the last show, I would get nervous to start, and there's that, you know, 5 minutes and places.
Yeah.
Hearing places is just the worst feeling in the world when you're waiting in the wings, getting ready to start.
Have you done stage, Leslie?
I haven't. But we were talking about how we were nervous to come out here. Anytime you go in front of an audience, it's a little nerve-wracking.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
And you know, lots of people have been on the couch and have told me things that went wrong on stage or things that, you know, went wrong in the audience. But the play you did, was it Grace?
Grace, yeah.
Grace. There was an audience incident that, what a doozy. And you pray this doesn't happen. This...
Oh, tell me what? What happened?
Well, I was getting ready. I was just about to start a monologue, and I heard some... There were 3 of us on stage, and there was some commotion, and I thought, oh, did somebody's cell phone go off? And the commotion usually dies down. It didn't die down. It was getting louder. People started arguing and saying things in full voice.
Out in the audience?
Out in the audience. And to the point when it was really rattling, and I didn't know whether or not to stop the play because I thought maybe somebody was in it was some sort of medical emergency. But I just didn't know what to do, so I just kept talking and pretended it wasn't happening.
A fourth wall.
But it was very clear that I was getting thrown, as we all were. And then Michael Shannon, the actor Michael Shannon, who was in the play with me, got to his section and just started screaming his lines in the direction of the noise, which had now been going on for about a full minute. And then he's such a terrifying figure anyway. He scared everybody, and it got very quiet. I then, at the end of the scene, went off stage to ask what happened, and it turned out that somebody in the front row of the mezzanine was drunk and went,
Oh, my God!
and threw up on about 20 people in the orchestra. And the commotion were the people standing up, covered in vomit. And wondering how they were gonna, so that...
My Maltesers are warm.
That was the first.
Right. It's time for music now. These girls have gone from prize winners to chart toppers, performing their new single, Change Your Life. Please welcome Little Mix.
Her reflection and she throws the mirror to the floor. Her image is distorted, screaming, is it worth it anymore? No. Are you scared of the things that they might put you through? And does it make you wanna hide the inner you? You're not the only one, so let them criticize. Untouchable when you realize, change your life, take it all. We're gonna stick together, no one get through it all. Change your life, take it all. You gotta use it to become what you've always known. His body starts to flicker like nobody wants to know his name. Just another soul with feelings, but nobody there to feel the pain. No, no, no. They can rip you, bring you down, down to their size. But they will never get to the heart you hold inside. You're not the only one, so let them criticize. You're untouchable when you realize.
we've got two in the front and two in the back. Two in the front, two in the back. Here you go. Oh, look at you. Look, disabled by fashion. There you go. There you go. All right. Two in upper class and two in premium economy. There you go. Lovely. Okay. Nice. There they all. Lovely, lovely.
Wash in, wash out, put on everything. It's just like...
Jess, are you feeling the cold?
No, I'm all right.
No. Nice beanie hat. Nice.
Yes.
Oh, now to the back. Look, you can hardly see there over the big hat.
Oh.
You're all right. We didn't expect a hat. So that's a third single off the album DNA, which has done so well. You You and more importantly, Simon Cowell must be thrilled. And for Uncle Simon, you're going on tour now. You're on tour now.
We're on tour at the moment. It's absolutely amazing.
It must be incredible that it's your tour.
That's what's really strange. Like, on the first night of the tour, like, just to see everybody there for us was so overwhelming, and we literally just cried. We were like little babies on
just kept looking at
stage.
everyone with their pussies, and we're like, they're all there for us. It just felt amazing. It was so weird.
How very showbiz. Now, 'cause you were a DJ, Paul.
Well, you know, when you say I was a DJ, that sounds like a cool thing, but I wasn't a cool DJ.
Would you have played that song? That's a floor filler. That's a floor filler right there.
Well, I wasn't a DJ in a club. I was a DJ for bar mitzvahs.
Are you all right there, Helen?
I'm fine.
I feel like
I'm fine.
You may lose, Dame Helen.
So, yeah, and it was a while ago, so, you know, I was more MC Hammer. But I think if I was doing it now, for sure.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of MC Hammer?
What about Right Said Fred? That was really big when I was DJing.
You've never heard of Right Said Fred?
I think I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. It's like you've come on just to make us all feel old. We're all having a great night now. Oh, we're so old. Right, before we go tonight, let's have a visit to the big red chair. Who have we got? Who have we got? Oh, hello. Oh, they love you. What's your name?
Samantha.
Samantha. What do you do, Samantha?
I work in a GP surgery.
Oh, right. Doing what?
Reception work mainly.
Okay, mainly, yeah. Bit of security as well, Yeah, lovely, yeah, nice, yeah. You there, move. All right, off you go with your story.
Okay, so I went for my very first Hollywood wax a few years ago, and...
Little mix of bean for some. Oh, yeah, no. Little mix of... It's a Hollywood wax. A Hollywood wax.
Is that when they put a H in it?
What?
Is that when they put a H in it?
No, Leanne!
Everything is a H.
Is that when they put a H in it? I don't know much about down there, but a H should be hard to do. Did someone give you an H? So sorry, you went for a Hollywood wax. Does anyone know what a Hollywood wax is?
No idea.
No.
No idea.
Leslie lives in Hollywood. She doesn't know what a Hollywood wax is.
Right, a Hollywood wax is basically they remove every hair from down there.
Everything?
Everything's gone. Wax, everything is absolutely gone.
Everything's gone. They just clear the area.
Yeah. So I'm there laying on the bed and she's ripping away at me. I am gripping the bed with physical pain.
Of course.
And she's finally getting to the very end and I am at the end of my tether and I peed myself.
I don't know whether that's a good story or not. Is it? Paul's coming.
I think it's...
Should we let her walk? If she can, should we let her walk? You can walk, lovely lady. There you go. We have time for one more, though. Oh, one more. Okay, one more. This is it. Okay. Here's our final one. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, what's your name?
Drew.
Drew, lovely. And now, are you from abroad, Drew?
Yes,
Are you
I'm
from
studying
America?
here. Yeah.
Oh, whereabouts in America?
Kansas?
Kansas,
That's
lovely.
where I'm from.
I know.
I'm from Kansas, too. Where in Kansas?
Well, Leawood, Kansas?
That's the same here.
No, wait a minute. Is this a Paul Rudd story?
Well, no. You did go to high school with my parents, though.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it.
Well done. If you'd like to join us on the show and have a go at the Rape Show, you can contact us via our website at this address. Thank you so much to all my guests tonight. Little Mix, everybody. Leslie Mann. Paul Rudd. And Dame Helen Mirren. Join me next week with Hollywood star Mark Wahlberg, outrageous American comedian Sarah Silverman, and the hottest actor around, Michael Fassbender. I'll see you then. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.